Top stories tonight. Terrorists kidnapped travelers along Maiduguri-Kano Highway in Nigeria's northeast. President Tinubu to address the nation on Democracy Day. Lagos state government urges caution as 5 die, 60 others hospitalized after cholera outbreak. African Union condoles with Malawi as the country mourns the death of Vice President Chilima and 9 others killed in plane crash. Thank you for joining us. I'm Felicity Ezewike. Let's begin by telling you that President Bola Tinubu will on Wednesday address the nation in a broadcast on the occasion of Democracy Day. Special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Ajirin Galale, in a statement said the broadcast will be at 7 a.m. The federal government had earlier declared Wednesday, June 12, 2024, which marks Democracy Day, as a public holiday. Minister of Interior Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, who made the declaration on behalf of the federal government, urged Nigerians to remain steadfast to the tenets of democratic governance and reflect on the efforts of the founding fathers to ensure that Nigeria remains a united, secured, peaceful, and indivisible entity. Meanwhile, Nigerians have been tasked to commit to nation building in an effort to bet a strong and viral democracy. This was at the 2024 Democracy Day lecture, which held in the nation's capital, Abuja, where citizens, including Nigeria's political elite, were tasked to reflect on the past and chart a way forward through patriotic commitment. Amadine Uyi reports.
It was the first among several activities lined up to celebrate the 2024 Democracy Day. In attendance at the event were past and present leaders all reflecting on the level of progress made so far in the last 25 years.
We look back with a sense of gratitude to God and appreciation to many of the heroes of our nation who through selfless service and courage worked towards the democracy that we are enjoying today.
Today is a moment to reflect on our journey so far. The tragedies Nigeria survived to settle for this democracy. The path of such experiments must inspire each of us to play our part to honor the labor of our founding fathers and mothers, and remind ourselves of the principle that drove their resolve to build for us a diverse nation that has defied the pessimism of detached agents of anarchy.
Many present say though the journey has not been easy, but urge Nigerians to reflect on the past, saying democracy requires a lifelong commitment to ensure its growth.
Building and sustaining strong democracies is a lifelong endeavor for any nation. It is always work in progress. Even older democracies, as shown by the just concluded European Parliament elections in Europe, and such as in the United States, which has been practicing democracy for the last 250 years, they are still grappling with the challenges of perfecting their democracies.
Against all odds, we emerged from the shadows of military rule and ushered in a new era of democratic governance. The achievement is a testament to the resilience, courage, and unwavering determination of the Nigerian people.
The Vice President of Nigeria, who was in attendance, urged all leaders to chart a path for the nation's democracy through patriotic commitment.
As we celebrate our past, we must also look to the future with a clear and determined vision. Today is not just a day of remembrance, it is a call to action. We must engage the young and competent, the patriotic and innovative, to join us in crafting a succession plan that secures the future we desire.
Others present urge the nation not to forget the sacrifices of those who put their lives on the line to bet the nation's democracy. In Abuja for News Central, I am Amadine Uyi.
The Connected Development has called on Nigerian youths to take part in strengthening the nation's democracy. The civil society organization made this known in Abuja while speaking to newsmen as it called on youths in the country not to give up hope as Nigeria battles a myriad of challenges ranging from insecurity, inflation, a dwindling economy, among others. News Central's Emmanuel Bagudu reports.
This year's Democracy Day celebration in Nigeria is full of excitement for obvious reasons. While it has been 25 years of uninterrupted democracy, one non-governmental organization, the Connected Development, has thrown its weight behind attempts to celebrate the day, calling on youth to join hands in strengthening the democratic process.
A lot of Nigerians, young Nigerians, instead of engaging in the process to see this country work, most people rather are focused on exiting and leaving the country to other countries for greener pastures. I do not blame them, but while we are here, I want to call on young Nigerians to commit more to working in this country, commit more to seeing that our democracy works, asking the critical questions, holding government accountable, demanding good governance from our political leaders who we voted.
Why do we have to have affirmation for women? Why? Why can't we have a society where we allow men and women become competitive? Because politics itself is supposed to be competitive. Nobody should decide how many percentage should young people get or women. Mind you, women and young people makes the block number. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu won because women and young people voted for him. So why must we have affirmative action? Why can't, in Rwanda today, over 60% are cabinet members, with women and are cabinet members. So why can't Nigeria get there?
The group urged Nigerians not to give up amidst the current challenges, especially when spotlighting the effects of insecurity in the nation.
Yes, it is sad that we're still dealing with insecurity in the northeast. We're dealing with banditry in the northwest. We're dealing with secessionists in the southeast, and some pocket of other security in the south and in the southwest. But I think that it's also a cause for reflection and hold security agencies accountable in as much as we support them to deliver.
Nigeria is expected to host world leaders in the nation's capital, Abuja, on June the 12th to mark the Democracy Day celebration. In Abuja for News Central, I'm Emmanuel Bagudu.
Many thanks, Emmanuel. Let's move on now to security matters. Suspected Boko Haram terrorists have abducted scores of travelers along the Maiduguri-Kanu highway. The insurgents abducted the passengers on Monday evening between Garin Kuturu and Mananari village near Ono along the Damaturu highway. It was learned that the insurgents reportedly blocked the highway before forcefully abducting some passengers, while other commuters had to return to Benisik and Uno, respectively. Residents also narrated that commercial drivers took refuge in their community during the attack. Gunmen from criminal gangs have killed 26 people, including 4 police officers, and kidnapped dozens more in a raid on a village in northwestern Nigeria. This attack is part of an ongoing wave of violence plaguing the region. The incident occurred in the village of Gaidam Boka, located in the Kankara district of Katsina State. According to the police and local officials, the heavily armed assailants arrived on motorcycles and opened fire indiscriminately. The attackers also abducted an undisclosed number of women and children, adding to the growing list of victims in a region increasingly terrorized by these gangs. Joining me now on the news to discuss this is a security expert, Awal Aliyu. Awal, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Over time, the term bandits have replaced terrorists and any association with the Boko Haram sect. And then you think, on the other hand, that if these attacks are about material gains, these are rural communities with virtually no wealth to spare. So the puzzle would be, to what end do we have these senseless killings and kidnappings? What is the purpose? If it is not insurgency, it is not material wealth, then what is it?
It is political motivated killings. They are politically motivated. I want to tell you that today, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has in his hold security expert. When I say security expert, I mean professionals. Starting with the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Gwabi Musa, who is well known to be a professional military officer, a combatant soldier, and then a very committed and patriotic Nigerian who has worked and is still working in the armed forces in the terms of fighting insecurity, terrorism, kidnapping, banditry, and what have you. You have in the place of the Minister of Defense, Muhammad Badaru Abubakar, that's the Minister of Defense, who is a political guru as well, an administrator par excellence, and also a patriotic Nigerian that wants to see the Nigerian security system is being restored. But because these guys, and also as well as the service chiefs, then the Minister of State for Defense. Now, these guys are working day and night, hand to hand, having cooperation, having synergy, having understanding, working towards finding a lasting solution to the security challenges, and also trying to vindicate the president's promises to Nigerians in terms of security. But there are Nigerians who are not happy that this security situation is improving. That is why it is no longer kidnapping for ransom, so to say, or kidnapping for Boko Haram, even the Boko Haram issue. It is being politically motivated in order to tarnish.
If I may interject here, if I may interject here, you're talking about it being politically motivated. It did not start with this administration. It's been successive administration, one after the other. And it seems that the strategizing and the work that's being done, because there is no day that goes by in this country, we don't hear that people have been kidnapped or they have been killed. So if it is political, there must be a goal. Is it to disorganize this administration? And to what end, then, if the country goes to pieces?
Well, as far as they are concerned, as far as the sponsors, as far as the motivators, as far as the planners are concerned, the country is not in their mind. It is not the country that matters to them. And what matters to them is their selfish interest. They are politically motivating this thing. They are politically pulling this issue because they know that the central thing that is first in an administration is security. Without security, there can be no governance, there can be no dividend of democracy. It cannot be Uhuru. And they do not want the man to achieve the required result and based on the promises he made to Nigerians as far as the issue of security is concerned. So, after assembling professionals, the service chiefs, the Chief of Defense Staff, the Minister of Defense, and they found out that if you recall, after the assemblies of these guys, the security challenges went down to almost like Nigerians are 85% secured. Then suddenly they rise up again after some certain level because they now believe that Nigerians overwhelmingly voted for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to become the president, and then he assembled Petroid to lead the campaign of security to restoring the security of Nigeria back to normalcy. And these guys do not want security to succeed.
All right, moving on now. I'm sure as a security expert, you've had this question a zillion times, but we'll keep asking until we find out solution. How can vulnerable communities like the ones in Katsina and other parts of northern Nigeria particularly be better protected from these attacks?
Say again?
I'm asking you how these vulnerable communities, especially in rural areas in the north, can be better protected from these attacks.
I can guarantee you that already the Ministry of Defense and Defense Headquarters, along with the service chiefs put together, are working towards ensuring that there's peace and security, not only in Katsina or in Maiduguri, along Maiduguri-Kano Road, but in the entire country. But speaking about northern Nigeria, since that is the area of concentration, as I'm now talking about Boko Haram, banditry, kidnapping, cattle rustling, and the rest of them, already there is a machinery, there is a strategy that has been put in place, and it is being worked on to, they are following these people to their den. Before now, it is after attack before you see the members of the armed forces going after them. But this time around, they are following them to where they are, to their hideout, to smoke them out. And also there is a strategy of reaching out using credible intelligence, using the community to extract information and intelligence so that they can work on it to ensure that the communities are secured. But like, you know, while you are trying to do, to protect the country, also the distractors are also working towards ensuring that those that are patriotic did not succeed. This has been the issue. This is what has been ongoing. We have personally, not only a security expert, I lead 596 community-based, socio-cultural and economically inclined grassroots organizations. So I get information apart from my profession as a security man, also as a leader of civil society organizations. I get information as at when the things are happening, and we can
I'm afraid we'll have to
motivated issue. It is not just about security, but meanwhile, we are also asking the security agencies to continue to strategize, to continue to plan, and also continue to cooperate with the community.
We'll have to pause the conversation here. We'll have to pause now. Thank you very much for speaking with us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Away from that, the Nigerian Senate has passed the 2024 supplementary bill of 98.5 billion naira for the Federal Capital Territory Administration, FCTA. The budget approval followed the consideration of the report by the Committee on FCT. The report was laid and presented by Senator Osita Ngu. In his presentation, Senator Ngu, who justified the 2024 FCT supplementary bill, said that the money is needed to develop certain infrastructure in the federal capital.
Recommended the sum of 98,500 million only as the FCT statutory supplementary budget for 2024. Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, in considering this budget as time was of essence, the committee has worked harmoniously with the House of Representatives to present one version of the report for consideration by the Senate. On behalf of the committee, I hereby present the recommendations for the consideration of and passage of the 2024 FCT statutory supplementary appropriation bill into law.
I would like to draw the attention of the Senate to the fact that I am the highest elected office in the Federal Capital Territory, where 4 million people live. I also want to call to the attention of the Senate that though I am in the Committee of the Federal Capital Territory, whenever matters, critical matters like budget or anything to do with the FCT is being discussed, I am never told. All I see is that it has been brought to the Senate. Sir, in the Federal Capital Territory...
No, the Civil Senator Eti,
please, may I finish speaking?
The order you are referring to says any senator may rise, and that senator shall be prepared to move without notice a motion declaring that a contempt or breach of privilege has been committed. You have your motion. Okay, so we suspend it till tomorrow? Okay, so noted. Your point of order is in order. Sustained.
And now bring you one of our top stories tonight. The recent outbreak of cholera in Lagos State has killed 5 residents, with 60 others hospitalized. The Lagos State Health Commissioner, Professor Akin Abayomi, has urged the public to exercise extreme caution to a suspected cholera outbreak in the Eti Osa, Lagos Island, Ikorodu and Kosofe areas. Abayomi also disclosed that, sadly, the 5 deaths recorded were mainly from patients presenting late with extreme dehydration. Coming up, NLC denies being unfair to Governor Oti's administration. Why the difference? More after the break. Stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. If you've just joined us, you're watching Tonight. A reminder of our top stories. Terrorists kidnapped travelers along Maiduguri-Kano Highway in Nigeria's northeast. President Tinubu to address the nation on Democracy Day. Lagos State government urges caution as 5 die, 60 others hospitalized after a cholera outbreak. African Union condoles with Malawi as country mourns the death of Vice President Chilima and 9 others killed in plane crash. The Nigeria Labour Congress in Abia State says it is committed to getting the Abia State under Dr. Alex Oti to succeed by all means. Chairman of the union in the state, Omunnaya Okoro, said this while responding to the statement by the Commissioner for Information and Culture, Oke Kanu, that the organized labor in the state has not been fair to the present administration. News Centre's Chinwe Ugele was there to cover the reactions from both parties and now joins me on the news. Chinwe, it's good to see you. The union insists it is committed to ensuring the success of Governor Oti. What could have led to this need for reaffirmation by the union? Do you see both parties reaching an agreement for the growth of the state?
Definitely, that will be in the future. But for now, the NLC felt it was necessary. It straightened out the claim by the Commissioner for Information, who said it had not been fair. The leadership, the organized labor in the state had not been fair to the Abia State governors. So I was in the briefing where the Commissioner spoke to journalists and also got reaction of the NLC chairman. So I'd like you to take you to the report so that you hear from them.
Okay, then.
Of the State Executive Council meeting at the Governor's Country Home in Mvosi, Information Commissioner Prince Oke Kanu told journalists at the Government House in Omahia that the organized labor failed to seek better ways of addressing the government other than through the media.
It's a very good one. It's not one that will promote the good working relationship between the NLC and the state government. As an institution, the NLC has access to government.
For his part, Comrade Omunnaya Okoro says he has exhausted all avenues to get the governor's attention to dialogue on a lot of concerns of the state workers, and even challenged the Commissioner for Information to schedule a meeting with the organized labor.
His statement is not true, but rather, we want this government to succeed. We have written severally to the heads of service for Kosofe. Commissioner for Information, why can't you ask head of service why she has refused to attend to us?
On the commissioner's claims that the government has since assumption of office improved the welfare of the workers, the labor leader in the state says otherwise.
There's no worker in the state here who has undergone that process that is being owed.
More than 4 series of verifications have been concluded and none of them yielded result. Instead, our members suffered a lot up till now that I'm talking to you. Most of our members have not collected salaries for the past 8 months. Let the Commissioner for Information come up with, if you want, within 48 hours, I will publish the whole names of the people that have not been paid after the verification exercise.
According to Comrade Okoro, the labor is willing to assist this government succeed, but added that the latter must stop subjecting the workers to unnecessary pressure.
All the effort we are making to advise the government to make them see the reason why they should take the welfare of workers serious.
This latest impasse between the Abia State government and the organized labor is a fallout from the counter-directive of the NLC, which instructed workers in the state to boycott the latest verification instituted by this government.
Chinwe, I'm sure you still with us. I was just wondering, watching your report, there seem to be mixed signals coming from both parties. On the one hand, they want to support the government, but they seem to have a lot of complaints.
You know, some workers in Abia State have had to complain about non-reception of their salaries since the verification exercises began. There have been 4 verification exercises so far in this administration that's just 1 year old, and they call for the 5th one, even though the Abia State government claimed it was not a verification exercise, but for the workers to upload all their documents and certificates online, that it wasn't but the NLC felt it was still verification exercise. It's just a matter of semantics. You choose to call it upload, but what are you doing with those documents? So he felt, since the 4 already conducted caused a lot of problems where some people were left out in payment of salaries running into months, there was no need for another one. So the leadership issued a statement advising workers to boycott the call for the upload of their documents. And that was why the Commissioner for Information felt that the NLC was not fair. But then also, the NLC chairman told me that he had made several attempts to have access to the governor through the head of service, but then all entreaties failed. So,
I think that there's a lot more going on there. We will appreciate more reports from you so we can understand what really is going on in Abia State. Thank you very much, Chinwe, for the good work you do.
Thank you.
Some traders from Ongwa Road Market, Aba South local government area, have called on the Abia State government to intervene in the continued closure of their shops since the attack on soldiers on the 30th of May by gunmen. The traders who took their protest to the government house in Umuahia said the entire business area has been condoned off by the army since the incident, with pedestrians, motorists and traders barred from coming around the area. They say they can no longer bear the situation given the hard times in the country. Special Advisor to the Governor, Trade, Commerce and Industry, Nwaka Ine, said the traders should also appreciate the plight of the soldiers since the attack and assure them of government's considerations.
Our shops and our business have been on lockdown since May 30th by the military. And up to now, we cannot even access our business area. No movement of motors and no movement of any human being around the area. The place has been on lock and key. And this is 2 weeks now, I think, since May 30th. We are pleading on the government, please, to intervene on this situation.
We never see anybody that bring this kind of statement that military locked up their business premises, only us. So we don't know the actual reasons. And we have been with them since 2 weeks now. So it's not easy for us. Everybody can see the situation of the country. So it's not easy for us now. So that's why we come to come to the government to help us in this very situation.
I assure you that your complaint will be treated with every seriousness that it demands.
The University of Birmingham says it wants to put in place innovative educational partnerships for Nigerians. Representatives of the university said this at a press conference they held today in Lagos. News Centre's Chidinma Ona was at the presser and filed this report.
With current advancements in various walks of life, modern-day education needs to foster global connections and expand employment opportunities for students and graduates alike. This is what the representatives of the Birmingham City University say their institution aims to offer tertiary education students from Nigeria.
We have extensive support services available for students. Anyone who's got a disability or have any learning challenge, we've got those facilities. Reason number 8, we deliver comprehensive career support in Careers Plus Service, Graduate Scheme and Employment.
Okay, we do have a program called the Innovation Fest in BCU, and it's a way where our students, based on the learning experience they've had, share their expertise, different innovations, whatever field they find themselves. Those in engineering, they create, very unique gadgets that probably have not been seen anywhere before. And then we have companies all around the UK coming to actually see this great talent. And from there, people actually get their next career, opportunities in terms of like work placement or sponsorship and all that.
The press conference the institution held in Lagos on Tuesday included informational sessions and highlighted the need for Nigerians to acquire a diverse range of degrees. With a concerning rise in JAPA, the Birmingham City University aims to reach aspiring students who may consider studying abroad.
We teach our students, that practice of how to become, or how to make use of, artificial intelligence. We also teach things like, big data analytics. So we prepare our students to be able to understand how to interpret that data and make use of it. And especially those that want to go into business, they need to be able to understand how to interpret that data.
Reason number 6, we have flexible and contemporary courses. We have a wide range of flexible undergraduate and postgraduate courses, emphasizing practical experience and hands-on learning. They're designed to meet modern career demands.
As the Birmingham City University extends its reach to Nigeria, it urges Nigerians to embark on a journey of academic excellence and personal growth.
We'll go on a short break. More news when we return. Just stay with us. The news continues in southern Africa, where Malawi's President Lazarus Chakwera has confirmed that the wreck of a plane carrying Vice President Salus Chilema has been found with no survivors. Chilema and 9 others were flying within the country on Monday morning when their aircraft disappeared from airport radars. The plane, a military aircraft, was flying in bad weather. Soldiers have been searching Chikangawa Forest overnight and into the morning in an effort to find the plane. In a news briefing on Tuesday, Chakwera said the Malawi Defense Force commander informed him that the search and rescue operation had been completed and the plane was found. He said the rescue team found the aircraft completely destroyed. Meanwhile, Chairperson of the African Union Commission, Muasa Mohammed, says he is deeply saddened to learn that the search and rescue mission for the missing aircraft carrying Vice President of Malawi and 9 other occupants found no survivors. He extended his condolences to the bereaved families and the government and the people of Malawi at this great national loss. Mohammed also reiterated the African Union's solidarity with President Lazarus Chakwera, the government, and the people of Malawi during this difficult time, with prayers for the peaceful repose of the souls of the departed. Let's go over to our business desk for today's stories.
Business news in association with Money Master PSB, the easy way to master your money.
Bringing you business stories tonight, the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission has announced the commencement of its 2024 oil licensing round, featuring 12 blocks combined with 7 deep offshore assets from the 2022 mini bid round exercise. This expansion is part of the Commission's strategic hydrocarbons development initiative aimed at increasing the country's oil and gas reserves and stimulating economic vitality. The CEO of NUPRC, Benga Komalafe, emphasized that the licensing round is not only a transactional opportunity, but also a testament to Nigeria's commitment to advancing a resilient and sustainable oil and gas industry. He highlighted that the country has 37.5 billion barrels of crude oil and condensate reserves and 209.26 trillion cubic feet of natural gas reserves, representing above 30 and 33% of the entire oil and gas reserves in Africa. Still in West Africa, Ghana's cocoa export revenue fell by over $500 million in Q1 2024 due to Galamsey, climate issues, diseases and smuggling activities. The drop coincided with the cedi's 20% depreciation against major currencies. Cocoa export revenue declined from over $1 billion to around $496 million, the lowest in 9 years. The cedi ranked as the fourth worst performer globally, affecting Ghana's economy heavily, is said to be reliant on cocoa. The country's trade surplus decreased by 54% in January to February 2024 to $392.8 million as cocoa yields suffered due to adverse weather, disease, fertilizer shortages and illegal mining. Rising bean smuggling may cause a loss of 200,000 tons. This jeopardizes loan assurances and cocoa board's financial stability. Increasing the farm gate price to prevent smuggling poses fiscal challenges for cocoa board, already burdened with debt obligations. And to the Horn of African nations, we tell you that Ethiopia's coffee industry is experiencing a robust year, with exports reaching a staggering $1.2 billion in the past 11 months, according to the Coffee and Tea Authority. This revenue stems from the export of 252,446 tons of coffee to international markets. Adugna Debela, Director General of the authority, noted that Ethiopia has a high chance of surpassing the all-time high revenue obtained 2 years ago from coffee exports. In the 2021-2022 fiscal year, the country achieved a record $1.4 billion by exporting 300,000 tons of coffee. However, the future of Ethiopian coffee exports faces uncertainty due to the European Union's upcoming deforestation-free regulation. The EU, a crucial market for Ethiopian coffee, accounts for roughly 30% of annual sales. And that's it on Business News for tonight. Do not go anywhere. We still have more to come for you anyway. I am Lekon Onobanjo.
Business News in association with Money Master PSB, the easy way to master your money.
Up next is sports news.
Sports Update, brought to you by Corn Oil. Corn Oil, we go the extra mile.
The Honorable Minister of Sports Development, Senator John Owan Eno, has demanded a detailed technical report from the Nigeria Football Federation following the Super Eagles' disappointing results in the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. The Eagles struggled to secure only 1 point from a possible 6 following a 1-1 draw with South Africa in Uyo and a 2-1 loss to Benin Republic in Abidjan in its third and fourth games in the qualifying series. Prior to that, the team had played identical 1-1 draws with Minnows, Lesotho and Zimbabwe. The results leave the Super Eagles with just 3 points from a possible 12 and in 5th place in Group C behind Rwanda, Benin Republic, Lesotho and South Africa. In a statement released by his special assistant on media, the minister expressed dissatisfaction with the results, especially considering the support the NFF has received from the federal government. He further demanded that the NFF provide a comprehensive technical report explaining the reasons behind the poor showing and explaining why there mustn't be consequences for the disappointment. Rangers International Football Club of Enugu and Enyimba International Football Club of Aba have both been charged and fined for several infractions of the Nigeria Premier Football League rules arising from their conduct in the Matchday 35 fixture in Enugu on Sunday the 9th of June. Enyimba was charged with a slew of breaches and fined a total of 10 million naira, including the forfeiture of 3 points and 3 goals to Rangers. They were also directed to identify and produce the players and officials complicit in the disruptive conduct that led to the discontinuation of the game. On their part, Rangers were fined a total of 5 million naira and ordered to implement a more effective crowd control mechanism in subsequent home games. 19-year-old South Korean Shin Yu-bin has expressed her readiness to return to Lagos and defend her women's singles title at the WTT Contender Tournament. The The tournament is scheduled for the 19th to the 23rd of June at the Molade Okoya Thomas Hall of the Teslim Balogun Stadium. The three-time WTT contender champion halted the Chinese dominance in Lagos last year when she beat Chinese star Li Ya-Kei 4-2 in the women's singles final, while her partnership with compatriot Jeon Ji-hee ensured she left Nigeria with 2 titles after defeating the Chinese duo of Liu Wei-shan and Fan Si-chi 3-1 in the women's doubles finals for South Korea to dominate the women's events. The world number 7 confessed she enjoyed her stay in Lagos in 2023 and is looking forward to the experience again. And finally on sports, Kansas City Chiefs defensive lineman B.J. Thompson has been released from hospital after suffering a seizure and cardiac arrest in a team meeting last week. Thompson received CPR from the Chiefs staff before being taken to hospital on Thursday. The Chiefs subsequently cancelled a scheduled practice session after the medical emergency. The 25-year-old, who was selected in the 5th round of last year's NFL draft, played in 1 game for the Super Bowl winners last season. He was part of the Chiefs team that visited the White House to celebrate their Super Bowl title last week. The Chiefs are currently in their off-season training program and will begin a mandatory minicamp on Tuesday.
Sports Update, brought to you by Corn Oil. Corn Oil, we go the extra mile.
Let's now bring you the latest in the entertainment world.
Entertainment news in association with Glow Unlimited.
Tonight on Entertainment News, Rick Ross previewed a snippet of his collaboration with Black Bones on his Instagram story. This collaboration is part of Ross's plan to create an African album featuring various artists from the continent. Earlier in the year, he expressed interest in working with Nigerian street hop star Portable and rapper Odumodu Black, even joining Odumodu Black on Instagram Live to discuss Afrobeats. The African album will also potentially feature Nigerian Grammy-nominated star Arya Star, Ghanaian dancehall star Stonebwoy, and Tanzanian superstar Diamond Platnumz. This project signifies a return to African collaborations for Rick Ross, who was featured on P-Square's remix of Beautiful Onyinye in 2011. Rihanna, the billionaire singer and business mogul, has hinted at ending her sabbatical soon. She recently revealed in an interview with Eti that she's returning to the studio and promised her next album will be out soon. She explained that she's been rediscovering herself musically and is prepared to get back to work on her new album after a long hiatus since her last release in 2016. Although an album title and release date hasn't been set, fans are in anticipation of the new body of work from Rihanna. That's all on Entertainment News tonight.
Entertainment news in association with Glow Unlimited.
Moving away from entertainment, the hashtag Super Eagles takes the center stage on our trending stories today as the Super Eagles of Nigeria lost 2-1 to Benin Republic in the 4th round of the 2026 World Cup qualifiers. Nigeria took the lead in the 27th minute but could not hold on till the very end. Let's take a look at some tweets and how Nigerians are reacting to it. At Zayed A. Yahid, that's the spirit. It's understandable to feel disappointed about the recent game, but it's inspiring to see your determination to fight till the end and strive for the impossible. Qualifying for the 2026 World Cup, your dedication and resolve are commendable, and I'm here to support you all the way. Keep soaring, Super Eagles. At Henry Ukwenemere, qualifying for World Cup for Nigeria shouldn't be doing the impossible. It should actually be an easy task. It is well. At Annie Cheesy, I can't get over Ndidi's comment about how Nigeria must not win every game. We understand that you win and lose some, but openly coming out to confidently say such shows the levels of the team and unwillingness to fight for the badge. I hope we do better in upcoming games. At Unwa Fresh, the captain ban must be removed from the arm of Ndidi for making a statement that we must not win every game just because we are Nigeria. He is unfit to lead the Super Eagles. At Ilbliss Goretti, the Super Eagles is a reflection of the government. Lethargic, inconsistent, confused. That's all for...
Interesting comments there on the Super Eagles being out of the game. That's all for tonight, but before we go, let's take another look at some of the major stories. Terrorists kidnapped travelers along Maiduguri-Kano Highway in Nigeria's northeast. President Tinubu to address the nation on Democracy Day. Lagos State government urges caution as 5 die, 60 others hospitalized after cholera outbreak. African Union condoles with Malawi as the country mourns the death of Vice President Chilima and 9 others killed in plane crash. As always, please send your eyewitness report to the number showing now on your screen, or you could follow us on social media at News Central TV. You can watch live on DSTV channel 422, Star Times channel 274, Evo TV, and on YouTube. As always, thank you very much for watching. Have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow.